Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's Tomas sharing all my thoughts on fashion, lifestyle, and anything else that comes to mind. I'm here every Wednesday, so thank you so much for joining me this week. I went out last night, so I'm just going to do a chill video with you guys. I've been having this idea in my notes app for quite a long time. Today's video, I want to focus on one specific topic, and that is going to be Chanel. I have my coffee here with me, so you guys know exactly what kind of video this is going to be. This is going to be a coffee chats with Tomas video. So let me take my sip right now. I really want to kind of dissect the vibe that Chanel is giving right now. Obviously, coming off the Met Gala and the newest collection that they just showed, which was Cruise 2025. There's lots to say, there's lots to talk about Chanel, and I feel like it's one of those brands that you either love it or you hate it. Today, I really want to discuss with you guys kind of like this dichotomy. I actually don't even know what that word means, so hopefully this makes sense in a sentence, but this dichotomy of people literally hating Chanel and the brand ethos of it and what's going on right now in the market, especially in luxury spending. But you guys know the drill. Make sure you guys are following me all over on Instagram, and make sure you guys are liking and subscribing to this video. And let's get right into the kind of vibe that Chanel is giving, because there is absolutely no time to waste. So if you're watching this channel, you obviously know about fashion. You know who the creative director of Chanel is, Virginie Viard. Karl Lagerfeld passed away in 2019 and kind of like shook the world of fashion by storm. He was just like an ethos of fashion. So when he passed away, it kind of shook the industry a little bit. Obviously, Virginie Viard was quick to take over. I feel like within like honestly like 2 weeks, they actually announced that Virginie Viard would be taking over. I think apparently they've worked very closely. So it was kind of like a no-brainer when Karl left, because, you know, she was already kind of doing the job anyways. I believe she was head of women's wear at the time. So they were like, you know what, you've been here long enough. Why not just do the whole damn thing, you know? A lot of people say that Chanel has been going downhill ever since Karl left, but I personally think that Chanel has just gone into a whole completely different kind of vibe versus what Karl's was. So if I'm being honest, Chanel has always kind of done the viral accessories right. Like, you know, we have these viral shoes, we have these viral bags, these kind of like, when Karl was at the house, he would do these kind of miniatures, or what's like the French word for it? Miniatures or whatever. I literally do not know how to speak French. For example, if the collection was George of the Jungle theme, then he would do like a little like bird sitting on a branch bag and you could be able to open it. You know what I mean? Like he would do these kind of like literal themes on accessories with whatever collection, which I think is what kind of put Karl on the map. You know, his old collections was very literal in the sense of the themes. So for example, when he took everybody to Dubai, the whole collection was very kind of like Dubai inspired. When he did that whole like snow thing, he literally made the entire venue made out of ice, and then everybody came out in like these kind of like snowman outfits. So, you know, he was very literal in his themes, Karl Lagerfeld, and he was also very theatrical. So that's a key word that I want you guys to focus on in this video, is that Karl versus Virginie was very, very different in ethos. In my opinion, Karl was just completely theatrical. He was actually kind of like a showman in many different ways. He really loved pop culture, and you could really see that in the collections that he was doing, versus Virginie is very lifestyle focused and very just like product and retail focused, which is what I think Chanel's trying to move from, and which is why I find the disconnect between people that like fashion and people that like Chanel. You know, these fans on high fashion Twitter that are just like so passionate about fashion, they really, really do not get what Chanel's doing for it, because, and I'm not trying to be offensive or anything, they aren't in the stores, they're not in the boutiques really being Chanel clients and shopping the ethos of Chanel right now. So I'm going to tell you what that is, because I feel like I have a pretty strong grasp on it. Chanel right now is just all about making money. Chanel is its own family-led business, which is kind of unheard of. You know, they're in competition with Hermes, Prada, I believe. Who else is kind of like an own family? Like, there's very few far in between, because everything is kind of just owned by Kering or LVMH. Chanel is one of those brands that is just like on its own and has always been on its own, and I will always believe that it's going to be family owned. I don't think they would ever sell themselves to like LVMH or whatever, because quite frankly, they don't really need the help. Because Chanel is its own business and it's family owned, they have kind of fallen in this trap of just being kind of money hungry, and I think this is what Virginie Viard is kind of set up for. They tell her, listen girl, like, we are trying to go for this kind of a younger sexier, funner client that is gonna go into Chanel and buy like the flats, and they'll buy like a cute little tank top with the logo on it. I think that's the kind of customer they're trying to capture right now. I feel like the Chanel client right now is very much like a 27-year-old girl. She goes on Instagram and she's like rich. She lives in Knightsbridge in London, and she'll go to Harrods for the day, and she's gonna pick up her like little tank with the skirt and the ballet flats. That is exactly the kind of customer that Chanel is trying to capture right now. And that's why I feel like there's such a disconnect between the public loving Chanel and then like the people who are actually have the money for it and like will go into the boutiques and like drop $20,000 on a whole outfit, you know? As we've seen with the latest Cruise 2025 collection, the clothing is getting much younger. I mean, we saw that on the runway. We saw these kind of like half sleeve swimming suits that honestly would not look good on anybody but like a 26-year-old girl who is still like finding her hips, you know what I mean? Like these kind of like hoodies that they're doing, everything has a logo on it, which I find really interesting because when you look back at Karl's old collections, it really wasn't that logo heavy. I actually remember this one collection that I remember seeing here in Toronto when we had like the little boutique, and I was so shocked to see that in the print he put like emojis, like literally he put like cat, official iPhone cat emojis into the skirt. And to me, it was just so wild. It was so like revolutionary because, you know how easily impressed I am. It was so revolutionary to me that Karl was putting these kind of like emojis into like fashion. It was very like tongue-in-cheek. But now that you see the collections in store from Virginie, everything would have like the cat emoji. Everything would have the CC, you know. They'll put Chanel on like the bottom of the sweater. They'll put Chanel on the collar, on the t-shirt. You know, it's like the logo is everywhere because they want like, they're attracting that client. And I actually think it's pretty comparable to Miu Miu. You guys know who I'm talking about. Those like rich girls who live in Miami who will like wear like the Miu Miu tank. They would absolutely go pair it with like a mini tweed skirt from Chanel and like the ballet flats, and they'll carry like a hot pink Chanel double flap. Like you guys know exactly the kind of customer that I'm having in my mind right now, and I totally feel like that's what Chanel is trying to go for. I mean, is high fashion Twitter or like fashion journalists kind of have like a beat on the pulse when it comes to fashion? Sometimes yes, but I just think like brands like this where especially even they hate kind of Dior by Maria Grazia, but again that kind of sells out in the boutiques as well. It's really hard to judge what Chanel is if really all you're listening to is like fashion journalists, high fashion Twitter, because they don't really know like what's really going on. Chanel famously doesn't really release numbers of like how well they're doing or how bad. I think they did it once, and I think they were like, I think it was during the pandemic, and then they said that they were nearing like 8 billion euros, but they want to do like 12. I don't know, I fully could just be making that up, and I will definitely be writing the correct number on the screen, but they're definitely doing well. I also think that they have a lot of things that they need to work on. There are two problems right now in the Chanel company that is always talked about, especially on social media, and that would be that they are actually taking out commission for their employees right now, and obviously the quality versus the price increases. So the commission thing, I mean, they probably said it in an email, but it's pretty obvious. They definitely said, listen babe, we love you, our stuff sells whether you're here or not, so we might as well just not pay you commission. I think they pay them commissions, from what I've heard, on the fine jewelry, and I think they might still do it on the ready-to-wear, or honestly they might just not do it at all, because I've heard the ready-to-wear does even better than the accessories now, which is kind of crazy. Is that kind of like a selfish thing that only a company that is owned by itself would be able to do? Absolutely. You couldn't picture Louis Vuitton or Gucci just emailing their salespeople and be like, actually, we're not going to pay you commission because whether you're here or not, our stuff will sell anyways. Like that would never happen. Literally only a company that is owned by itself would ever imagine doing that. And I feel like that kind of put a bad taste on people that are shopping at Chanel, especially because to get the good stuff at Chanel now, it's kind of very like Hermes-like, where you have to kind of like schmooze with your salesperson. You have to text them like, happy Mother's Day, how are you? So they'll like give you a damn bag. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the vibe that the company is going towards. And when you take out the commission aspect, it's like, why am I texting a random person? It's like, I'm trying to get you to buy shoes and like, I don't even get paid for that, you know? Second are the price increases. You know what I find comical? How difficult it is to get a mini Kelly from Hermes directly from the boutique. And it is like 25% cheaper than if you go to Chanel and you're like, see a classic double flap and I'm like, can I buy that? And you see it like on the shelf. Because I think like a mini Kelly right now is like 9,500 euros. A double flap from a black caviar double flap, you guys, I think it's like 10,000 euros. And all you have to do is just go ask for it. Like, to me, that is just so astronomical. It doesn't make sense. And that's something that personally bothers me about Chanel. It's just that I feel like they get too greedy and they just like don't understand the vibe that it puts off in retail. Like, no offense, if I see you carrying a black caviar double flap, I probably think it's fake, if I'm being honest. That shine or like that pebble leather they do, it looks fake, mama. Like, I'm sorry, if you pay 12,000 Canadian dollars for that, that's like, you could have released a Range Rover for that money, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I feel like these price increases don't make any sense to me, and I think we need to stop and halt it a little bit, because it also doesn't make sense with the quality. Keep coming back to this point with you guys about like it being family owned. Your quality is on you, babe. You literally are privately owned. You literally go to the factory. I'm sure you have probably the best lambskinner or the best animal leather provider. The reason you guys are downing on the quality is because you guys are producing way more, because you guys are getting greedy. If Chanel were in the factory and they have 12-hour days, picture like 9 to 9 p.m. and they were about to make 100 caviar double flaps, but now they get the thing that is like, oh, actually, can you, instead of 100 daily, can you guys make 400? Obviously the quality is going to go down because people are like trying to make the bag quicker, you know? The quality is just on you, and like there's a very big disconnect that I feel like people, maybe the CEOs of Chanel that are just trying to get like a higher paycheck, don't understand that like you guys have worked to kind of make this history and this kind of like essence of the brand that would help your stuff sell on its own. But now we have to upkeep that. So if everybody's complaining about your quality and people are complaining that your $12,000 bags are not good quality, when you talk about Hermes, people might find it annoying that you have to like kind of like schmooze or S&D to like get a bag from your like sales associate, but like no one's complaining about the quality of Hermes. People complain about the quality of Chanel, and that's why I feel like they kind of like need to like wake up, let's get the light bulb going now and like fix that before just like sending 1,000 double caviar flaps that aren't the best quality, and people are gonna be like, I'll buy it anyways, because people will, if we're being honest. Like, most people don't have common sense. People will buy it, but I just think like that's the number one thing that I feel like I get frustrated with Chanel, even though I'm not really shopping there, is that I don't think the quality is there. And if we are upkeeping a legacy, because this is a young company, I think Chanel's probably on their like 70th year, and you guys want this company to be forever, you know? If we're going back to like stylistic choices, I do kind of like the ready to wear. I particularly really do enjoy this Resort 2025 collection. It's very young, it's very streetwear focused, it's very cool. I could totally see like a cool girl from Paris who smokes and like goes out every night, will like wear a tank, the skirt with like New Balance sneakers. I totally see that right now. I feel like Chanel is kind of giving that cool vibe with their ready-to-wear. You know, fans of the ready-to-wear are very persistent. I sometimes get into this black hole of the forums, and I read the forums of like people like literally like taking pictures of ready-to-wear, and they're like, oh, I saw this sweater in a 36 today at the Las Vegas resort, and people be like, can I have your number of USA so I can like buy it and then ship it, you know? People love their ready-to-wear at Chanel, and I think it's cool. It's like a community of old ladies, I guess. I think now they saw that it was a very mature client, and they really are skewing more for that kind of like younger generational between 22 to 31 clients of girls who just have money to blow, and they just like want to buy the clothing because it has a logo on it and they want people to know it's Chanel. Are the red carpet looks that great? Absolutely not. I mean, we saw the Chanel looks on the Met Gala red carpet. They weren't the best. I don't think they do that great with red carpet dressing, but I think with like casual looks, expensive clothing, I think it's pretty good. This is what I was trying to say with you guys, that I think like Chanel is just an ethos of its own. It's very controversial. I personally don't think Chanel is that bad. I think Chanel makes great clothing. I think their designers know how to make a viral product. You know, like this season's like Chanel shower sandals. It's literally just like a flip-flop that probably cost, I'm not even gonna lie, $10 to make, and I think they're like 980 euros, you know? So they know how to make these kind of like viral product, and I'm enjoying Chanel right now. I think it's kind of going to a bit of a tongue-in-cheek territory, which I think is fun to watch. I think if you like fashion, you kind of like appreciate it. And for anyone that is skeptical about the clothing, I really urge you guys to go into the boutique. I know it's very scary sometimes to go into a Chanel boutique, but like now that they're not on commission, I swear like the essays don't even care. Like they're probably just taking the piss anyways. They're like, hi, try this on for fun. I swear, because like when you take out the motivational part of someone's job, they honestly don't even care. So I would kind of see like go into the boutique. You definitely, it's not about wearing a whole Chanel look. It's about taking pieces from each collection and just wearing them with like New Balances and jeans and kind of like styling it in a more realistic fashion way. For me, if I was involved with Chanel, I would just try and fix the money quality. And like, I know we're trying to do this Hermes thing, but it's like, it's not really there, because Hermes has the respect and the foundation of smart clients. And I feel like when your clothing kind of looks like this, you are gonna get the kind of like people that don't really care about it, but they are just gonna buy the bag because it's Chanel, but they're not gonna care about the quality. But you know what I mean? I just think like maybe fix the pricing a little bit. I would maybe bring it a little bit down. It's giving greedy. I'm sorry. Like the prices of the stuff is giving absolute greedy, and I get it. You guys are a family-owned company and you guys kind of have the power and will to do whatever you want. But it's giving greedy. It's giving greedy, and I think we need to like pull that back. I mean, it's too late. Like, can you imagine being the first company to like take back a price increase? That would be insane. So I mean, this is the price of a Chanel bag and it's gonna be that same price forever, but like you guys are aiming to be like 1,000 in your house. So how much is a bag gonna cost in like 200 years? Like 17,000? It's like, come on, like let's bring it back down a little bit. But other than that, you guys, I gotta be the devil's advocate here. I do quite enjoy Chanel. I know it gets a lot of flack on high fashion Twitter and social media, but then again, are these people really clients and are they seeing the brand for what it is? Probably not. So I just wanted to bring you guys a new perspective on this. I hope you guys kind of like this like chit-chatty video. I just love like giving my perspective on fashion houses. This is what this channel is for. I really want to talk about like my personal style, but also kind of give these dissertations on fashion. So I really hope you guys liked this type of video. Let me know if you guys want me to do a video like this on other brands. Let me know what you guys think about Chanel. I'm really interested to hear what you guys think. If I had Chanel money, can I be honest, I probably wouldn't buy the bags or the shoes. To me, they're very girly, but I might do like a ready-to-wear moment, like a hoodie with Chanel on it. Hey, I'll take it. I'm not really there yet, maybe in the future, but if you are a client or you buy the clothing, I really want to hear from you. Like, what do you love about it? What do you hate about it? I feel like if you're a Chanel clothing client, I feel like you don't buy the bags or the shoes. I feel like it's two different people, and then like all the Instagrammers will like buy like the viral shoes, and then maybe like luxury obsessed people will like buy the bags. You know, there's like 3 different clients in Chanel, in my opinion, and I feel like they're all totally different. And like the clothing clients like looks down that measly girl who's like buying the ballet flats, you know. That wraps up the video, guys. Hopefully you guys like this little chit chat session. Coffee chats with Tomas. We gotta do them once in a while. You guys know I love to yap and I feel like I have so much to say. This coffee is good today. I don't know what I did. I mean, I just do like the kind of like, I do like the cheapest coffee. I do like the ground coffee and like throw hot water and I'm like, call it a day. Thank you guys so much for all the support lately, especially on the Met Gala video last week. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the content. Make sure you guys comment down below what you would like to see next. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you guys all next week. Peace.